Welcome back, everyone, to another tier list made by your boy Poppin' Often with Lofton. This is going to be a Marvel Rivals Season 5 tier list. We're going to go from Bronze to Diamond, Grandmaster to Celestial, and One Above All, or Eternity to One Above All. So we're going to do all the ranks in this video. If you want an explanation about each character and why I put them there, check out the stream, link in the description below, but we're just going to be blazing through this so you guys can just have it all laid out for you. Remember, this is a solo climb tier list. Basically, you're not as a stack, you're not forcing any crazy comps. This is a solo climb, duo climb, or even trio climb, and we're thinking about it at a 2-2-2 level. 2 tanks, 2 DPS, 2 healers, okay? So 2-2-2. Let's roll. So because I already have a stream explaining everything in fine detail, we're just gonna go through and I'm just trying to give one description on why I think these characters deserve to be there. Black Panther, very good in the backline. Bronze and Diamond players just aren't that great at dealing with him, so he gets away with a lot. Cloak and Dagger is very good at 1v1ing a lot of targets, and our ultimate's a very good team fight winner. Groot is a skill check character. This is one of those characters that if you are very good, if you don't know how to play against them, you'll just end up losing the match. The Groot doesn't necessarily have to be insanely good at the character. The Hulk is very hard to deal with, very easily able to pressure, and he's very consistent with his hits, and everything that you want to do, you just tell him to do it, and he does it. Iron Fist is very potent, very strong into tanks and into squishes. I like Iron Man, just very hard to hit. Most people in these ranks don't really pay attention to Iron Man, and it gets away with a lot. Magic is just very strong in terms of being able to be invulnerable and having a shield, giving her a cap HP of 400. Moon Knight just does a lot of damage, and with this new buff, the 5%, he just does an insane amount of damage. Penny is just very hard to deal with in general because teams don't understand how to deal with her. Star-Lord, pretty much you just wait to ult and you'll be able to KO the entire team. Thor, just a very crazy presence in the front line, very hard to deal with unless everybody focuses them. Mr. Fantastic, similar to Thor. The Thing, similar to Thor. Ultron, very good at being able to have that sustained healing while focusing more on firepower. One of the things that Bronze and Diamond players struggle with is just not being able to handle pressure. So if you just throw everything you can at them, generally they're going to crumble. Next we have the second spot, which is going to be free wins if you're good. So Adam Warlock, although he doesn't have a support ultimate, if you're a good Adam Warlock, again, remember, Bronze and Diamond crumbles when you throw everything at him. Adam Warlock does a lot of damage. So as long as you continue to throw things at people, you're going to get your heals back. And on top of that, you are going to be doing enough damage to get KOs. Captain America has a lot of pressure. And it's very just hard to deal with. If the Captain America isn't that great, you got to run him over. But if he does understand what he's doing, even at the slightest, it's going to be a problem. Doctor Strange, he's very good at taking advantage of people who are out of position. Bronze and Diamond players typically end up getting out of position, so you can just kind of walk at them and get them. Loki, really just one of those characters that are just hard to deal with regardless. Mantis received a lot of buffs, which made her really good. And one of the main reasons why I think she's good is because of that movement buff that she got, where if you get hit, she doesn't slow down immediately. She takes a second to do so, which means by the time that duration wears off, you actually probably have your movement speed back. Very solid character in my opinion. Namor is a very cheesy type character in terms of he gets to a spot where you don't really know that he is, and then he just runs you down. You can also play front to back if you really want, but he's the most potent there. When it comes to Psylocke, a lot of what she does, you need to be really good at. If you're not good at her, you're probably gonna just not be able to win your matches. What we're talking about and being good is just timing. If you time your ult properly, you'll definitely get a lot of usage out of it. And if you just time your flanks properly, even if you don't get KOs, you're just sitting back there and you're being a problem. Scarlet Witch, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I think the buff to her ultimate made her way better. Squirrel Girl, she's great, but you do have to be good with her. Storm, she's good too, but you have to be good with her. Punisher, same case. Bucky, same case. Invisible Woman, same case. Emma Frost, because players started to learn how to get better at dealing with her, and she's received nerfs, playing against the Emma Frost isn't as powerful anymore. It's not as hard to deal with because we already understand. So when it comes to playing against the Emma Frost at this point, it's not that much of a problem. So you really do need to be decent at Emma Frost to really make her a problem. Otherwise, people are just going to ignore you. Phoenix, she's a really solid character, but you do need to be good. Angela, again, you do need to be good at this character. If you're even average, she's not going to work. Your team's going to get run over. Daredevil, a lot of people think that he's broken. I honestly do not see it. I think a lot of it is more of just he's this on paper, but he's not actually that insane in a match. If you get rolled over by Daredevil, most of the time it's a smurf. So people don't factor that in as well. If you are good with Daredevil, however, he is going to be a problem. But if you're average or below average, the character's just going to get run over. That's pretty much just how it works. Um, when it comes to 50-50 team reliant, so again, these are going to be the characters that even if you play well, you're probably not going to be able to sway the match in your favor when your team suck. Hawkeye, the problem with Hawkeye is the same thing with Hela. People don't understand target priority in these ranks, so you can dump thousands of damage into the wrong target and you're not going to accomplish anything. So it's not necessarily the character issue, it's more of just players in these ranks don't understand how to play the game yet. When you're coming with Luna, she's okay, but the problem is that if she gets pounced on and nobody cares about you, you don't have much of an out. You don't have a much way of moving around. If you're in the wrong position at the wrong time, you will get KO'd. The only way that Luna will work flawlessly is if you're playing against a front-to-back team comp, meaning that we're just both sitting there fighting each other, or if she's very aware about her surroundings. Magneto, just not that great in these ranks. You don't really understand how to play the game in general, and this character is a character you need to play. You need to know how to play the game in order to be successful with. So if your team sucks, you're probably gonna lose. Rocket, I mean, he's not a bad character, but your team needs to do well. Spider-Man, so people know how to deal with Spider-Man just like they know how to deal with Emma Frost. He's received some nerfs as well, but just as the game lives on, each season players get better and better, and they understand how to beat certain characters. Spider-Man now is way easier to beat because people understand how to play against them, but they're also releasing characters that can deal with them. So you have to factor that in as well. And this is why even if you're the most amazing Spider-Man in these ranks, you don't have enough game knowledge to really make this character work because people know how to deal with you now. So you have to think outside the box. And again, a lot of Spider-Man players don't do that. Venom's next. Venom in these ranks just really aren't a threat. People think that he's really good and insane, but just Venom, people in these ranks can't time dives properly. And this is one of those characters that need to time their dive properly. Otherwise, they're just not going to be able to play the game. Wolverine, I think that the nerfs has gotten him. They buffed him a little bit, but I still think he needs some help. Even if you grab people over and over and over, he's team reliant. Your team's going to need to be there to help you, or your team's going to need to capitalize on what you're doing. And because your windows are so small, because you have high cooldowns, you really got to make everything worthwhile. Also, people understand how to deal with Wolverine more now as well. So again, you're not only facing nerfs, you're not only facing new character releases, but you're also facing players getting better. Human Torch has never really been a carry. He's always just been a character that helps facilitate. So he's just really a great zoning character, but he's not someone who's going to be able to carry a match. Blade is interesting. With Blade, a lot of people don't understand how to play against this character. Or not play against it, I'm sorry. A lot of people don't understand how to play the character. So for the most part, this is why I feel like he should be there, because you don't understand timing yet if you're in Bronze and Diamond, and that is something that's crucial for this character. So the next we have Gambit, pretty much similar to Blade. You don't understand everything yet, and so you might not know when you should do something. Usually you're gonna have people be way too damage focused or just way too heal focused, and that's not how Gambit works. He wants to do both. Next you have Black Widow and Jeff. Honestly, good luck. Play them if you want, but if you're truly trying to climb ranks, I wouldn't recommend it. Now moving on to Grandmaster to Celestial. So we're not going to talk about all these characters, but we are going to talk about a few on why they moved up. So Blade moved up because people started to understand how to play properly. Spider-Man moved up because of the same thing. Hela, Hawkeye moved up because of the same thing. And you have some characters moving down, like Cloak and Dagger. People understand how to deal with Cloak and Dagger now. Mantis moved up a little bit as well because people understand. Loki moved down. You know, some of these characters are rearranging positions because as you climb, players get better. As you climb, players communicate more. As you climb, you get better, like, as yourself. So there's a lot more that you know about the game that you can then pull off. When you add it with the character, then you really start reaching new heights. So Bronze to Diamond is more about just getting good at the character. However, so Grandmaster to Celestial is about getting good at the game as a player. So the character swap, because now that players are better, including yourself, some can rise because you understand more. However, because the enemy understands more as well, some goes down, like Angela. Angela goes down because enemies understand how to abuse when Angela's gone. The next one we have is Eternity and One Above All. So once again, players get better, you get better, and your teams get better. So as an example, Angela moved back up. Why? Well, the team now understands how to play with an Angela, right? Angela's weakness wasn't necessarily her kit herself, but your team has to understand when Angela's not active, we need to not be active. When Angela is active, we need to be active. You know what I mean? So there's a lot more teamwork going on around there. And people at these ranks generally have comms on all the time. I don't. People always tell me, Poppin, get in call. And I'm like, I don't get in call. So that's a me thing. But most people are always on comms in this. And all it takes is a brief communication of Angela going in. People are going to go in with her. If she's out, they'll stop. Things like Hawkeye get pocketed more, right? Bucky moves up because by this point you really understand how to abuse every aspect of Bucky. Psylocke moves up because you really understand how to abuse every aspect of Psylocke. Hela, again, a lot of these characters that tend to move up, especially from patch to patch basis, which is why if you see a tier list made for high ranks, you got to be careful, because a lot of the times they're thinking about people having the capability of piloting these characters to their fullest. Even if I'm not a Hela one trick, I can make Hela work because Hela is strong enough to work. You know what I mean? However, Captain, as an example, he's very weak. So even if you take the best one above all player ever, the kit itself just isn't strong enough right now. It's not meta to compensate. This is why characters tend to be extremely good and extremely bad to the extremes when you're playing in high rank, because everyone pretty much is all the same skill level. And now you're pretty much looking for who has an edge. If I play Hela every match, I automatically have an edge because she's good right now. If I play Storm every match, I'm automatically at a disadvantage because she's just not that great right now. You know what I mean? And again, we're looking at this from the 2-2-2's perspective. We're not looking at this from, well, I have 3 healers and no. And we're also looking at this from, you're playing by yourself, you're not playing with anyone. And honestly, I don't even think you can play with anyone in these ranks anymore. I don't think they changed it. So I think you have to solo here. But, or maybe just duo. I totally forgot. I don't know if I seen it in the patch where they reverted it, because I know that they reverted a few other ranks, but I'm not sure if they spoke on Eternity or One Above All. But regardless, you're not going to have your stack with you when you're here, and it really comes down to what's giving you the edge and what's not giving you the edge. As I said before, there's explanations on everyone if you watch the stream, link in the description below, but I just wanted to have a brief rundown about things, and I spent more time on the bronze to diamond because I know most people are there. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, you know what I always say. Thank you guys for doing what? Happen often. Will often.